So as you'll be aware, the Professional Darts Corporation announced it will no longer use the walk-on girls in its tournaments, but there's been a backlash. Some people say they should return. There's been a petition. About 35,000 people have now signed that petition to reverse the ban. Charlotte Wood was one of the best known ones and says she got a lot of income doing that job.
I've got nothing but praise for the job that I've done and everything surrounding it. It's been a fantastic 3 years, and I mean, obviously we get to know the players, we get to know the players' wives, and it is like a family. There's nothing seedy about it. It's shocking, really, that people would maybe think that that's what it's about.
And in the latest development, Holland and Germany have said they will keep the walk-on girls when they have their darts tournaments. So are they a throwback to the past, or are we taking away jobs? Kelly Brook is in the Sun today saying it's a good job to have. We're here to debate the issues with us this morning. We have Elizabeth Hobson from Liberty Belles, who describes themselves as 4 women who stand against feminism, and Sam Baines in the studio this morning, an actor from Sevenoaks and a comedian as well, currently on tour with a show who describes herself even as a feminist. Good morning to you both. I'm going to start with you, Elizabeth, and I'm going to put it to you that walk-on girls have no place in 2018.
Oh, look, I mean, why do you say that? Why do you say they have no place?
Because what are they actually doing? They're just walking around when they could be doing something a bit more constructive. Come on,
We're talking more constructive. We're talking about entertainment here. You know, what is the point in any kind of film or art or music? It's simply to entertain and not harming anyone, providing a bit of glamour and fun. It's fine.
Sam, are they entertaining?
Well, I just feel it's quite an outdated practice. I think they're brilliant, you know, models are brilliant at their jobs. There's definitely a place in the industry for models. I'm an actress myself, I work in the arts. I think the nature of being freelance is that sometimes we lose jobs and we get new jobs. And I think, you know, just showing young people this darts show, I showed my niece and I said, what are the men doing on this show? And she said, oh, are they playing darts? And I said, yes. And what are the women doing on this show? And they said, I don't know. Are they there to look pretty? And I think that's the issue. If we could get women involved more across the whole sport and have more female faces, then great. But I think at the moment it's the balance that is wrong for me.
So yeah, Elizabeth, if we have...
Okay, can I jump in? I mean, look, beauty is a virtue. It's not the only one, but it's one that brings pleasure to human beings, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think we need to have a little bit of respect for little girls watching at home, that they can watch this stuff and not, you know, watch 2 models and not suddenly lose any aspiration to achieve anything else in their lives, that they can know their own minds and live their own lives.
But I think the media is such an influence on young people, and things like social media are as well. And I think we should, yes, be celebrating these beautiful women, but also I've seen them interviewed on TV. There's a lot more to them. They're very eloquent, articulate women. Maybe they could get involved with interviewing or commentating as well, instead of just being there to add a bit of glamour, as everyone's calling it. I think they do, but I think there's more to them than that.
Can I put the point that Anna made earlier, is that why don't we have men up there looking pretty?
You know, if there's a market for it, then fine, and maybe there's a market for it walking women up in women's darts. You know, there's certainly a market for scantily clad men in, say, perfume adverts.
But that's to sell the perfume, isn't it? I would say, what are these girls selling? I know they wear advertising, but that's only 9% apparently of the whole advertising, you know, across the whole show. So it's not as if they're there just for the advertising, which is why I think, you know, give them something more to do. Catwalk models are selling fashion and selling those clothes and brands, and in magazines, models are selling accessories. And I would just say, why don't we give them something else to do and get them more involved than just the walking?
Look, you know, I think if you want better representation of women in the media, we need more women, not less. It's absolutely ridiculous to say that we need better representation, so we're going to deprive women of their jobs.
Elizabeth.
Obviously, Holland and whatever other country think that they are performing a role, you know, that is presumably selling things. that makes them useful. So I don't think this is like a marketing kind of bottom line decision where they've said, oh, these women aren't making us money. I really think it's an ideological kind of feminist decision that's been made.
Elizabeth, can I ask you something that I want to know? What worries me about the Walk On Girls in the wider context of society is women being put up there purely for titillation. And we know the context where we've got #MeToo, we've got Time's Up, we've got a lot of women coming forward and saying they're seen as objects, that they can be abused in society. Do you not think that there is a kind of a bleed through into girls as they walk down the streets thinking, oh yeah, they're for me, they're just to look at and I can do what I like?
No, I think that the feminist assumption that men see women as sex objects devoid of humanity is demeaning both men and women. And I feel like with this and with the Me Too hysteria, that we're regressing to these Puritan Victorian moral standards as being imposed by an elite of feminists.
Can I just say that as a feminist, I don't have that view of men. I have the view of equality, and I would never call Me Too hysteria. I think it's incredibly important that everyone's coming together and being incredibly brave and speaking about their experiences. And you know, some men do treat women like that, and some women do treat men like that, and I think we both need to treat each other with a bit of respect and just even up the balance there. I don't want women to lose their jobs, but you know, in the nature of the arts, it is freelance. I'm sure these women are self-employed, as I am. When a TV show that I am in is cancelled, no one says, oh no, we mustn't cancel that show because the actors will lose their jobs.
So Sam, do you think the principle is bigger than the job?
Yeah, it is, and I think these girls are brilliant. I have nothing against them. I think women should be allowed to wear whatever they want, but it's the fact that their job is there purely for people to look at them, and in the balance of the sport as a whole, with the amount of men that are there talking about the sport and able to do the sport, I think it's that imbalance, and it's as a whole, not that specific job. Yeah,
Elizabeth, they can get other jobs, can't they?
Well, yeah, but you know, they've absolutely loved these jobs. They've said that it's like a family there. They've been there for 6 years. The fans don't seem to want them to go, and they don't want to go.
Well, I think we're going to leave it there because I want to throw it open to you listening at home. What do you think? Do you think that actually it's time to call a halt to the walk-on girls in dance? Have they had their day? Or, as Elizabeth said, you know, these are valuable jobs. They love those jobs. Why are we telling women what to do? Maybe this is anti-feminist. I'm tying my brain up in knots, so tell me what you think.